All right, everybody. Good morning to the stream. Schmilicopter. Good morning. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing all right and ready to do some summer of world building. We I think a couple of streams ago we talked about the summer of world building, and the plan was to have basically like oh, my pen isn't working. Come on, pen. Nope. Alrighty. Stream cancelled. No, just kidding. The idea was to have June being like environments and then July would be transport and vehicles of some sorts, and August would be props and items. Hello Nervin. This was the plan for the summer of world building. So today we're starting with environments, and I think I encourage everyone to, I don't know, build their own world, or you can join along with what I do here, or you can just June environments, July environments. I see what you did there. But despite what you did there, this is the plan. So basically, this time I think like I don't have like a specific idea yet. I just know that the world that we built was kind of related to this sky. What was it? Head in the clouds. That was the task. So in the world of, I don't know, let's call it Windhunters world, because I like the name. World building. All right, so June is environments, and I think we can do environments like from bigger scale to smaller scales. So maybe first kind of think a little bit about how people live there in general. Like, you know, we have the air, kind of air part of the world, and water and underwater. So on all three of these kind of landscape types, we'll have some sort of villages and people kind of living. So I think maybe this is what we'll focus today. So let's just, I don't know, maybe sketch around some thumbnails for a village or like a city. I think maybe first we'll do like a village. Next stream we will do something along the lines of a house or some sort of establishment, maybe, or maybe a different sort of village. Like if today we do the air village, then maybe next time we will do something, maybe maps. I was just kind of brainstorming what to do. I thought maybe your title is like, it is, that's why I was just brainstorming. I want to double check the focus of this camera. All right. This should be a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, so I thought about maybe making maps and like continents. Maybe we can do that as well. But maybe it's not that interesting. Actually, I don't like these squares for thumbnails. What is everyone doing? How is it going? Is anyone planning to join along the summer of world building, or just drawing some random stuff in the meantime? So I think maybe like first we draw an air village. We already did that before, but so like I think a village would be hanging on like some sort of air balloons. Something like this. Nervin says random, mostly blobs. Random cookies for breakfast. What is this? Random cookies. Maybe like people keep these villages in the sky by like maybe the villages are not like made out of a lot of homes, but just like a one kind of villa floating around. You know, maybe it has it like a tower of some sorts, and basically every person who joins the village just adds a little house or like a little section to this. And maybe all the towers are actually the ones that hold this sky castle kind of on a loft. Everybody should eat cookies. I made cookies and now the only one eating those. Not if I eat them for myself. You made cookies and you hide them from your family? I can approve. Anyway, maybe it's something like that. Maybe there is to help it float. It has like a you know what? Maybe each village is like a zeppelin, and it has like a zeppelin balloon on top. And then when the village grows too big, some parts of the village have to separate and get their own zeppelin going. So maybe it's like a plank on the zeppelin. Maybe something like that. And then there's also like a height limit here. Nervin feels so tired. Just take your time, maybe. Get some tea. We also can think about how much magic we want to use in this world, because we can have all this floating done by like magical means if we really want to. But I kind of like when it's at least partially realistic, like if it's feasible. Maybe Zeppelin can carry slices of maybe Zeppelin can carry slices of land. That's an interesting idea, Nervin. The stream is quite relaxing in terms of making people sleepy and tired. Alright, so slice of land, you say. What if there is like an air balloon and on top of it sits the village? Like maybe there is a little slice of land, as you said. Maybe it's more something along these lines. And then this balloon is, I don't know, maybe there are like pumps that pump up this balloon. And it's huge. I think the balloon looks kind of too big. Maybe it can't really carry mountains, but just a piece of land. With some houses, let's see. And that would be like this, the balloon here. Is that something you had in mind, Nervin? Schmelicopter says maybe each slice of land has a clouds factory, and a giant cloud it makes serves as an air balloon. Maybe, yeah, that's also a good idea. It's kind of what we had with the ship on the previous stream, I think, or 2 streams ago. But that's a good idea. I will sketch it as well. So this would be an option with like a Zeppelin carrying parts of land. But maybe it's like a little factory. Like a cloud factory. With carrying I meant under the balloon, but like that is also like that it also works. Maybe it could be under the balloon as well. Yeah, why not? Maybe it's like a balloon that carries just like a square of land, like a floating island basically, with some rocky formations underneath. Is that something you had in mind? No. Oh yeah. Then no, I guess. What's going on there in chat? And then this cloud factory could be also like part of the village. Maybe there is like a windmill there and some houses there. Maybe some trees even. We should no to that flat piece. No to this one. Come on, guys, that one is a good one. So it's like cloud factories would be very important elements of the society. And the people who work on the cloud factories will be like the keepers of the village or the city. Yes. No to flat. Yes, when it stopped being flat. I see. So you're a flattist. Maybe what else? How else can villages transport between the cities? Maybe like it could be that there is just a booster on a piece of land. Maybe made out of few boosters, but I don't really like that idea because I think it's too, like, it feels too technological. I think I want to keep more of a kind of steampunk flat earther or earthler, kind of like a maybe Victorian steampunk era. I think I want to ink these sketches a little bit, maybe add some more details. Village on the back of a giant eagle. Ooh, that's a new direction. Symbiosis between humans and some sort of birds, maybe eagles or owls. Maybe there could be like night villages that fly on the... How do you draw an eagle? Let's see. Let's say there's a wing like this, and there is a head and a beak. Maybe he has a... Don't know how eagles look, and I don't really want to go on Pinterest right now to find out. So let's say this is a bird and there is a village. Now we won't lose this idea. Maybe too much focus on the bird instead of village. Maybe we'll see when we get to this one. Maybe this will be more appropriate for July when we think about like transport methods, because I think people would have trained some huge birds and flying creatures to help them. Owls, yes. Now just adding some random house shapes there, just to kind of sketch the different possible shapes there. Alright, something like this. There could be like a docking station for the ships and stuff like that. There could be also like pipes and like all these steampunk elements that pump the hot air into the balloons. Maybe that could be interesting. Maybe the helicopter says, maybe there can be just a nice system of islands flying just by themselves with bridges and stuff. Just magic, no explanation. Could be. We can also say, you know, it's because of gravitational fields or something. I don't think we need to really like come up with a reason why they're floating. We can also just say it's magic. But I like the idea of floating islands in general. So I think we can add some, definitely. Maybe there are like some pipes around the village. Maybe there is like some steam escaping from the top of the air balloons. Hey, good morning, Studio NT. Welcome to the stream. We started with the summer of world building this time. This stream we're just kind of experimenting with some ideas and options of like a floating village. We already did it once, but in a kind of a different style, so to say. This time, like basically this is the plan for the summer here. This month it's more environments and that kind of stuff. Maybe villages, houses. And next month will be more like transport and vehicles. And then the last one will be more items and props. Maybe even pixel props. Sounds like a really cool project. Yeah, I hope you and other viewers will join along, because I think it's fun, and might be even more fun to kind of come up with different styles and see how everybody develops their own world in a way. Schmelicopter says, I'm also imagining some kind of a giant flying tree and little houses in its roots and branches, and people are traveling on its leaves as if those were boats. and throwing acorns at the enemies. That's a really good idea. I was also thinking about a flying tree, or you know, like what kind of vegetation you can have up there. And flying tree is a really good idea. It can also use its leaves to just fly around. Flying tree. Let's just sketch it. And use pine needles as swords. Ooh. Wait, it's a pine tree then? Let's just draw a huge tree. Like this. With some roots hanging. Their houses, leaves. Yeah, I don't know, maybe maybe this will remind us of the idea of helicopter. All right. Oh, Studio NT is also hosting me. Whoa. Thank you, Studio NT. How is it going? How is the mineral hunting coming along? Any new pigments found? That's gonna be like a main entrance into this villa style house. I guess something like I kind of forgot what I wanted to do in the bottom here. I think it was just the villas kind of bottom basement. I think it should have a shape of some northern trees, all crooked and dynamic. Could have different shapes, right? Maybe in different parts of the world, people using different trees, and in some place it can be like a palm tree floating through the air, in some other place like a baobab tree, maybe like a pine tree on the north. Student G says it's going very slow now. I'm in a period of depression at the moment, so I mostly play video games and occasionally make some art. Hey, take care of yourself. Take your time. I think it's important to notice those times and make sure you take it easy on yourself. We all need some time of just, you know, getting your head in place and all that stuff. I hope you feel better soon. Video games and occasional art I think is a good cure. I'm used to this, so I'm just accepting it and letting it play through, and I know it will pass sooner or later. That's a good attitude, I think. I can relate, I guess, as many artists, I think. And it's tough, but it just needs some time to play it out. You're right. I think as long as you're aware of kind of what you need right now, it's all good. Like as long as you know that, oh, I need some me time, or hey, I need some company, or hey, I need some, I don't know, project or something. Like everybody deals with this stuff themselves, like with their own methods. So as long as you understand what you need, I think it's all good. Schmelikopter says, I have my stuff to draw, but it's too much fun to think of the ideas for the world building. Nice. I'm glad I can distract you from your work. This is kind of, I think it can be considered like a sneaky goal, you know, to have the stream so people like to participate in the stream more than they want to do their own stuff. I call it a good topic if that happens. Then T says, how are you guys doing? Nervin is mostly tired and sluggy today. It's like a decent mood for Sunday. I'm doing alright, I think. I'm like also going through some depressive stuff, but I don't know, you can't really rush it. So the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is, you know, if you get too used to that, but I don't think that's the case. And other than that, yeah, it's Sundays. Sunday is always a good time for pancakes and being sluggy. So I think all in all, it's stupid mosquito at night waking me up. Why can't it just bite me and leave, but not fly around my ear half the night? Yeah, those mosquitoes. Do you think it's starting to be a mosquito season again, so we need to buy some protection? How is it with mosquitoes in Sweden, by the way? Usually up north there, it's more mosquito-y. Those darn mosquitoes. We have them. A lot of them. Yeah, that's what I thought. Schmelikopter says you haven't met them for some reason. Some people just don't get bitten. Yeah, for instance, I think my dad, he's immune to mosquitoes. If we would go camping, all mosquitoes would like go to everyone else, but not my dad. Unfair advantage. Norman says the sketchbook will also not get bitten if I sleep in his bed. Just attract them so much. Yeah, you're just too attractive for mosquitoes. I mean, I think I'm just too skinny for them. They will bite through me. Maybe they just don't want to mess around with that. Wanted to add like a windmill somewhere, but kind of forgot. Maybe there could be like a big wheel here. Something like that. All right. Do I need to lose 30 kilograms now to get? You can do different things. You can either lose weight, so you're you can also get beaten through, and then they will leave you alone, or you can just let them bite you and suck out all the stuff that you don't need. My mom doesn't get bitten either. I think it's because she eat our blood thing medication. Oh, do you think the mosquitoes don't like the blood thing medication? I would think that they actually should like it more, because that's what they like. That's why it's itchy, you know. They bite and they spit this the special chemicals that help your blood not to coagulate, because they don't want your coagulated blood. They want fresh. So theoretically, they kind of thin your blood so they can suck it. Weird. Yes, my mom is also immune. She always says, I don't know why you complain about them. They don't do anything. While my dad and me are covered with those bites. They even bite through jeans. What kind of mosquitoes is that? Monsters. Alright, which one shall we do next? Let's do this one. That one is a piece of land floating. Maybe there is like a river floating here as well. And it just flows into the air. They they come right out of hell. Yeah, there are mosquitoes that are super annoying, especially in the summer, especially if, you know, in St. Petersburg, for instance, there are a lot of buildings have flooded, or used to have, I don't know how about now, like flooded basements, and that's, you know, it's warm, it's humid, perfect for a mosquito. I don't like how this thing looks, so I think I will just rework this into a floating island without any explanation. just magic. Maybe there is like a hill or a mountain behind this village. Alright, something like this, I think. Something like this, maybe? Maybe there could be like a... also a river here, maybe? Maybe there is like the fields around the village. Something around these lines, maybe, just not to forget the idea, I guess. Let's draw this tree. Let's try to make it a little bit more crooked, maybe. Maybe it's a tree on like a big rock because it needs something to grab onto, right? Something like that. Let's say this is like an oak tree, maybe, because our people need acorns, right? I think it also could be fun to include like lighthouses of some sorts, so you know, like they can communicate with each other on further distances. Let's just add like a little windmill here, kind of for fun. It's just huge fluffy clouds. I can also imagine that since, you know, if they're all floating and it's hard to float, maybe people will live in smaller communities and just kind of travel more with their houses. You know what I mean? Just like a big villa with, I don't know, 80 people or something, like a little community, like, and then just travel to a big city as the whole community, do your shopping there and float away. Let's make like a castle here just for the variety, I guess. Maybe the castle will have a moat around it. Air moat. Studio, and she says, ooh, yes, that is so cool. I think you meant the villagers that travel to the city for shopping, right? Okay, let's try to do this bird a little bit. Don't know, that kinda is like a bird. Whatever, don't look at the bird. We will work more on vehicles and like all these transports in July. Let's not stress about it until then. I don't remember if this ink of this specific tumble pen is water soluble or not, because it's different from what I usually use, which is also a tumble pen that I just can't use now. Like this one is calligraphy pen, and this one is something, it's also calligraphy pen. Let's see if they're water soluble. Are they water? All of them, even the green one? Okay, if they're waterproof, then we're safe. Students in thesis. I wanna design my own flow. That's exactly the motivation why I stream. This is great. Do it. Just sketch a little island here, like a tiny little island with my dream home and a little garden, etc. Should be waterproof. I use them. Let's see how waterproof these are. I use mine with watercolor. Derp window. Okay. If you say so. I will use maybe my... What? Maybe not. No. Change my mind. We'll just use a regular brush. Like this. I think I will spray a little bit water first, because I think I want to add some blue for the skies. You need some ropes for the factory sketch. Oh, the cloud will get away. Unless... I can't do the ropes now because it's wet. But I can't hurry, it's wet. But yeah, unless it's, it can be held by magical means. How about that? Or is it a lame excuse? Let's take a bigger brush. this one. Save the clouds. No. Lame. Morning. Good morning, Nimla. Welcome to the stream. And you brought a cup of something. Okay. This cloud will be had by 2 leashes, kind of. You happy now? Nervin? Alright. That seems more appropriate. Morning. My cup has coffee. My cup has tea, but I just because. Whoa, what's this? And it was supposed to be bright blue. Yeah, I just already got some coffee in the morning. We're doing Summer of World Building, Nimla. It's like a whole summer stream project. First with some environments and houses like today, and next couple of streams. And then maybe we'll do some vehicles and transports, maybe like a flying eagle or something like that. And then the last month will be, I guess, more like maybe characters, even maybe more like props, depending on how it goes and what you guys want to see and participate in. Because I would rather change the topic a little bit but have some people joining along than just draw everything by myself. This will be just a quick wash. I don't want to like detail anything really. At least not yet. This is more like a sketch stream, I guess, to get the ideas going. Okay. I think we have first layer. Let's just add some shadows, I guess, while we're at it. All right. So now maybe some greens. I don't know, there won't be that many greens there because I guess it's hard to grow stuff in the sky. Except of this tree that grows by itself in the sky. That one is easy to maintain. Yeah, I think the rest shouldn't be green. That onion. Ahoy, me airship mateys. Ahoy, that onion. Welcome aboard. What else can I say? Yar. I don't know. We're doing some world building stuff. Starting off. with some environments and kind of general ideas for this world. How are you guys? We're going strong. I think it's coming together quite nicely. We got some really good ideas from Nervin and Schmidtcopter and NT and everybody. I got some ideas for floating islands and, you know, like floating trees, villages. How are you doing? Have you have you sketched anything new lately? And guys, again, I think it's a good time to remind we're alive, and that is amazeballs. Be right back. I need to get my medication and some sketching materials. I say yes, and medication too, if necessary. Links. That's the right one. Yeah, if you guys want to, I don't know, share your stuff, you can do it on Discord or Instagram or anything. Just send the image there and maybe we'll take a look at it on the stream. I'm not really active there, unfortunately, because it just, you know, takes a lot of mental effort to keep everything running, but I'm working on that. Maybe eventually it will get better. Alright, let's get the red roofs going. Only some doodles recently says that Onion, I have been building a lot of other stuff. What does that mean? What were you building, if you don't mind me asking? Anything cool? We're also starting to build here with we're basically building the world for the whole summer. Maybe. I guess if we get bored at some point, we can always switch to something else. But what I like about like this kind of project is that you can adapt it to whatever like schedule or goals you have. You know, like if you want to draw characters, it's just draw characters in this kind of in the world. It's kind of easier to, at least for me, it's easier to keep track of like coming up with stuff if I know where it's all set. Like if I know the setting, it's easier to come up with ideas, and I think that's why I'm into this world building stuff, because it's like you build the world and then you can kind of populate it with whatever you want to draw. Alright, that Onion says, I helped my friend upgrade his rain gutter and rainwater collection. Ooh, it sounds cool. Build a DIY server rack for my computers and progressed in my friend's automates indoor greenhouse project. There's a lot of engineering there. Sounds like it, at least. Automated indoor greenhouse project. Ooh. That sounds really relevant because, you know, with people stuck at home and maybe working from home more, and I mean in the future probably they will work even more as well. having a greenhouse indoors that is, especially if it's automated to some extent, that's a great idea. What is he gonna grow there? if it's okay to ask, to know. You never know what people want to grow. Indoor greenhouse. Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of building. Do you also sketch for those things? Like if you need to build a greenhouse, do you also first, sketch the idea how you want it to be, or do you just do the kind of the planning? The Onion says we have a metal glass cabinet from IKEA that will have automated watering, lighting, and humidity control. He likes to grow herbs and chilies. That sounds great. Automated lighting, humidity, and watering controls. That's kind of what I need. I'm terrible at keeping plants. I sometimes I have these like memories when I was a kid and I grew tomatoes and cucumbers on the window, and they actually, like, it worked. They had, fruits and you can eat them. But lately, whenever I try to grow something, it just dies kind of soon because I forget to water it, or I overwater it, or I just go somewhere for a week and then it's dead when I'm back or something. So it's actually a good idea to just have an automated thing, because I really do like herbs. I think herbs are what makes food interesting, like herbs and spices. You can take even the simplest dish, and if you add some parsley and coriander and some spices, it becomes something different. I sketched the server plans out, did start drawing more to better visualize my builds, but shifted toward more artistic adventures. Ah, I see. So you kind of came from engineering ish background in this drawing sense, and then switched to more personal stuff. That's a good route. I think for me, I don't know, I kind of always was drawing. Like, I was going to art school when I was a kid, like until I was 8 maybe or something like that. But that was kind of it. But surprisingly, it didn't stop me from enjoying the drawing. Like that's what surprises me, because I also went to the music school and it traumatized me until, I don't know, I was 20 when I picked up the instrument by myself again and started enjoying it. But with drawing school, I don't know, I was drawing the whole time in school, like in the regular school and the university as well. Like without it, I would say it wasn't really like drawings. It's more like sketches on the sides of different papers and all that stuff. But I don't know, it still was inventing alphabets and sketching some weapons and stuff like that for some reason. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, I read that one already. Okay. Let's make the eagle brown. I think eagles are supposed to be brown. Does it count as an eagle? Barely, I would say, but okay. All right. Let's add maybe some more red stuff here. All right, I will call this page done. I think as a sketchy page, it's good. We can maybe pick one of them and explore more. Let's say maybe the factory one is the most interesting. I mean, this one looks great, says that on it. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. So I like let's just kind of analyze what we have here and which ideas are cool to keep. For example, this tree idea, that's really great. I think like the tree, and then you can have different trees. You can use parts of the trees as, I don't know, weapons or materials or whatnot. I like the idea of factory making the clouds. Is the tree on a balloon? No, I thought it needs something to hold the roots, so it's just a stone. I don't know if it makes sense that like, sure, a floating tree needs something to hold on to. Let's put a stone in the air. That must help it float. Yep. So that's a good one. Maybe just a floating island as well is, I mean, it's kind of basic solution. And I like the balloons. I think maybe little, like small villages or like a, I don't know, post office or something like that can be just with like a little cluster of houses with a huge balloon. I thought it was a floating balloon keeping it up. The floating balloon was here first, but then it turned into an island, and here it just became a stone. Alright, so what will be the next step? I think the next step would be to draw one village maybe with more details and accuracy. Could be I don't know, a post office. Why do I keep thinking about a post office all the time? Also, my pages are getting wobbly. Stop wobbling. This is actually quite annoying. Is it because I have only a few pages left? Maybe I will use masking tape for that. Stop it from wobbling. So we have our first kind of village today. So because we'll have a few different ones. We'll have people who live in the air, but we also will have people who live on the water and underwater. I think People who live on the water will be more like merchants who trade goods between underwater and air people, whatever their name is. But today I think we'll just explore the air ones, and maybe next time it will be the water people, the water nation. Airbenders, all that stuff. Alright, it didn't help with wobble at all, but we must proceed. I always liked the concept of movie Waterworld with Kevin Costner. Is that the one? Which is like a post-apocalyptic world where everybody is floating and stuff. Yeah, I also really like the idea. Like they have very cool concepts with how they grow plants on water, and like how they have to get still water, not still, the unsalted water. Is it called still water? Fresh water, that's the one. So let's say, yeah, that's partially what we have here as well. You know, if people live in the air and everything is flooded, then there will be people who live on water as well. All right, so we have, I think the main thing for air people will be staying afloat. So I think I will draw maybe this thing where they can actually have the a factory that produces the thing that keeps them afloat, and maybe parts of it can be also supported by air balloons. Like I like from this one, I like the idea that there is a basement where there is a system that makes hot air and pumps them into the balloons all the time. I don't know, for some reason I like this internal structure of this village. So I think it will be two sketches, or like two illustrations. One with the factory and one with this like a pipe system also. Let's be more precise here, maybe. Alright, so here we'll have some sort of like a balloon operated tavern, or I'm back, time to start doodling. Welcome back, student. What you gonna doodle? A floating island with the dream house? Yes. All right. Could be interesting also to think about architectural style of all this, because kind of for now I'm just going with whatever comes to mind, but it would be nice to get some consistency as well. don't like where this one is going. Alright, I guess this will be like a, I don't know. Let's call this post office. For some reason it seems like delivering messages could be an important task in that world. Don't know why. I have no idea why I'm so stuck on the post office idea. But if it's in my head, let's take it out of there and put it on paper. Also, fuck this shit. I think I should start with the house itself and then and then add the balloons and all that stuff. What if the post office is in like a Dutch style? Although using stone and bricks in the air doesn't sound like a good idea. Alright, that maybe this is more like a post office. Alright, I think we need to add some, like a tower here, maybe a couple of more little buildings on the background. Something like this maybe. There will be like one chimney here that holds an air balloon. There will be another, like a long chimney here that holds another one, maybe a bigger one. Can be also soap bubbles if you're trying to come up with like a fairy tale version of this. Just make these balloons soap bubbles. I think. Alright. Needs some sort of railing on the outside, I think. otherwise people will just fall off the post office. Maybe it has like a birdhouse here with pigeons. Let's draw a lot of birds sitting there or something like that. Maybe just another simple chimney. A huge flag for no reason, just because it's more whimsical. And here would be like a machine that pumps the hot air into the system. Maybe there are like pipes sticking out of here that get air. Maybe there's like a big vent. Vents everywhere. Don't know, something like this, I guess. All right. Which one did we also want to sketch? I think it was the one that... Oh, the factory. The factory that produces clouds. All right, let's get it done. It should have like a big, I think, big sucking tube where it would suck on the air that will go into the cloud. And then there will be like a big chimney, I think. Maybe that would be the main object of this construction. A big chimney. Maybe it could be like an interestingly shaped of some sorts. Maybe like, you know, goes narrower first and then expands. Kind of like a blacksmith house, but for clouds. Maybe here be like small little chimneys. It's a cloud making factory. Maybe it has huge windows for some reason. Oh, the narrowness here that gets wider at the end of the chimney maybe is made so that the cloud is attached to that place. What do you say? Maybe they're like these big rings and the cloud just is attached. Something like this. Makes sense. Yes, that onion. Maybe there could be like a vent here as well. Some sort of like, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's another attachment to this house. Some sort of like that with, I wanted to add a vent, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense. Nah, doesn't work, I think. Let's just add some more living areas, I guess, to this part. I guess this one doesn't really need fence around it because it's not gonna be working by itself. It's like a part of the village. But let's just add a fence maybe for visual pleasureness. We can also add some green stuff here and there. All right. Maybe there is like a little, like a skirt here made out of planks and cloth. It's kind of like helping it float a little bit. What kind of lead are you using? This one I believe is just the regular HB pencil. Let me double check. It's 0.5 in thickness and just regular HB. I think. At one point I put some I put a few different LEDs in there, so it's hard to tell, but it's either B or HB. All right, let's get to inking. My manuscript pen doesn't work. I remember I always preferred soft lead. I remember it was HB, it glides better. Yeah, I also like soft one because I usually I like sketching, you know, like just doing a lot of lines, and if it's too like stiff or too hard, then I have to press more to leave the pens, like to leave the mark, and then it's harder to erase for me at least. But maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I love sketching with a 2H. I guess there is some merit to it as well, right? Because if you press lighter, you will leave less lead, so you can actually sketch more lines on the same piece of paper with a harder pencil. But at the end, it's just personal preferences, I guess. What do you say? Should we do watercolor first and then inking, or first inking then watercoloring? We have about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes left. Don't know how much watercolor I can do in that time. But I can find my other Tombow pen, this one, with the harder tip. Yeah, that one is more comfortable to press hard on. Schmelicopter disappeared somewhere. I wonder if she's drawing something. Let's start with the chimney first, maybe. Oh no, actually, let's do it this way. Let's do watercolor on the chimney first, and then while that's drying, we do the inking, and then we do the inking and the watercoloring. Genius. It's just a genius idea, I think. My white wax pastel broke. That sucks. How do you even use white wax pastel? Like, you can't use it on white paper, it's not gonna show up. And if you try to use it on other pastel, then I think it's just gonna smear everything around, right? And also, how is sketching going there, Studio NT? I think you wanted to sketch something. I wonder if you did something. Nervous is it lightens it when you put it on other colors. They blend together. Oh, they blend together. I didn't know they work that way. Let's add some more water on this thing. Just some bright spots. I'm sketching. Let's see. All right. Wait a second. Let's open this link here. Ooh, that's a tree. a second. Oops. What share? Let's go. Ooh. That's a really cool tree. I like it. Is this the pond? Some sort of like a pond, and then there's a staircase inside. There's a big plateau here. Looks like a good area for like meetings and gatherings. And then there's like a balcony with some cabins and houses. That's really cool. Great job, Auntie. Keep it up. I'm really curious what will turn out at the end there. Which color would they paint the house though? Maybe it's just gonna be like a stone color? Nah, it should be kind of wood color. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing it. I think that's really cool and fun. The more people share their art, the more they inspire others. And it's kind of like a loop. The more you share, the more you inspire others to share. And the more they share, the more you get inspired. The more you share, the more they get inspired. The more they share, the more you get inspired. The more share, the more they get inspired. Okay, let's draw some bushes here, I think. Inspiration train. Yeah, indeed. It's like a... yeah. Can't put it better. Inspiration train. Let's try to make it a little bit more woody. Wooden. Something like that, I guess. But what color will the chimney be? That's a big question. Don't really want to have it like a red chimney because it seems a little bit too bright, and it would be cool to have like a lighthouse, you know, with stripes, but this is not a lighthouse. This one is a simple cloud factory. Maybe it will be just like a clay color. I will use some of my self-made watercolors for this chimney. It's a little bit sandy because I guess I didn't do it well. But let's say it's it gives it nice texture, you know. Let's say that's the idea behind it. Oh no, I made it dirty. It will look better when it dries, maybe. All right. That should do the trick for the left sketch, I think. We just need to ink it later. Oh, I forgot something. Completely forgot the cloud itself. Clouds are usually pink in my world for some reason. Something like this, I guess. All right, let's get into the inking. Maybe yeah, I will ink this one now. Let's start with the foreground as always, I guess. Maybe there is like a gate here so people don't fall out. Not only people, I mean, maybe people on these islands have also pets, so and you know, maybe they have not only pets as birds, but also like dogs and cats, and you wouldn't want your cat to fall out of the sky, right? Like they can survive some height, but I don't know, can they survive a fall from like 10 kilometers? I'm not sure. Maybe they can, because at some point it doesn't matter how high you are, because then you don't increase your speed more than your maximum, kind of. What about flying pets with wings? Also known as birds. I mean, I guess people would have bird pets because they're in the sky and it's convenient, but. Or you mean like cats and dogs with wings? It's gonna take a while to make those. Don't mean that. You think outside the box. Flying pets with wings. Outside the box. Okay, what's the box? Where does the box start? Don't have to be something we have here, or something, or like fantasy creatures. Ah, that's what you mean. Like dragons. I think they could have dragons. Or like Pegasus. Or flying snakes. You're just thinking about our world in the sky. What about new ones? Yeah, I'm thinking about that because that's how I'm building this world. I want it to feel realistic and not just another magical stuff. I like fantasy and magic, but I'm kind of sometimes getting tired if I like justify it for myself as like, yeah, this is just magic stuff, you know. That's why I want to like have a little bit more realism and like that kind of like West no, like Waterworld, the movie that Onion mentioned. Like it's fantasy, it's fun, like fantastical, but it's kind of based on this world, and that, I don't know, to me it helps kind of visualize it better. Something completely new, not dragons. Okay. Like flying thingies. That's completely new. Hmm. Do Pegasus count? Let's post. Something like this, maybe it's royal post. That Pegasus don't count because that's a horse with wings. Okay. So you want something completely new, like a flying blob with 6 ears and 1 wing. Would that count? Yes, great. So flying blobs with one wing and 6 ears. There will be a huge bird place, like a bird keeping thing. Usually they have these kind of fences everywhere. Could be based on our world, but not just not just a dog with wings. I see. That's a tough one. We should get back to this thought maybe on like in the July or August, when we'll be drawing like transports and maybe creatures. Then that's when we can think about all these animals and stuff. It's kind of like you kind of made me work a little bit on this one, because I never really thought how hard it is to come up with an animal that is not animal from our world, and not just an animal from our world with wings. Let's just make this fence a little bit more fancy. A fenceless fence is unacceptable. There is another chimney here. With a big balloon. Maybe there's a smaller balloon on the background somewhere. Let's draw some birds here sitting everywhere. Maybe there are some flying birds. And maybe we add some more, I don't know, a couple of windows here just for some visual interest, kind of, on the background here as well. Maybe there is even bigger one on the very background. All right. The question is, I think we have time for one of the two, either inking the left sketch or doing like a little watercolor wash on the right one. What do you guys think is the better, inking the left one or watercoloring the right one? I think maybe inking is better because this one is kind of okay by itself as well, right? But this one is, yeah, this one is a little blurry. Inking it is. Studio and T has spoken. Then it will feel more finished. Indeed. Hopefully, maybe it will. It's a little wet, or not really wet, but damp. These cloud holders. Still need to figure out what that means, like these cloud holders. Is it just pure magic, or is there something else happening? Maybe it's just magic. No explanation is necessary. Don't like the wobble of the page, but also can't really do much with it. There could be, I guess, another fence as well. I remember I said this shouldn't have fence because it's in the middle of the city, but currently it's by itself, so. this, I guess. All right. Maybe I'll add some more just little details here and there to make it feel more finished. Trying to make like a little bit of a texture on the roof. Maybe some sort of like a window here. It would be maybe cool to have this chimney kind of striped, but I think that will go against the kind of general look. And I think the striped look is better for lighthouses, as I mentioned before. And it would be cool to have a floating lighthouse. So we'll get there, I think. Something like that, I guess. All right. It's been 2 hours now. I think we did some nice progress on our summer of world building. Did a few general sketches with ideas and then something more finished at the end. I think maybe I'll just outline this thing. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for joining the stream. It's been really fun having you all. I hope you had some fun as well, and maybe you will even join this project of world building, and by the end of summer we all will have some sort of world. I was even thinking maybe getting like a 90 page sketchbook and do it all there, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for the stream, guys. I hope you had fun, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.